What's up? We're back. I'm going to be talking kind of quietly because my ears are sensitive. Look at this fish tank. Very small. Not a whole lot going on. I need to get a little structure in there. But there are the fish. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a movie I just watched and I really enjoyed. I started it last night and I finished it this morning. I watched Lifeforce from 1985. Really cool movie. It's a science fiction horror movie about space vampires, and I think it was originally titled Space Vampires because I think it was based off of a book. I could be wrong, but yeah. Anyway, the plot. I'll read it to you real quick. It says a frightening journey into the unknown awaits an earthbound scout ship when it comes across an alien spacecraft of enormous proportions. Further investigation reveals a room full of glass coffins containing the bodies of frozen creatures. A terrifying nightmare begins when these life-hungry aliens arise and target the Earth as their new feeding ground. So, the movie was directed by Toby Hooper, who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, probably my top two horror movies of all time. Uh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 is at least my favorite horror movie. I don't know about the second one, it's definitely high up on my list. Anyway, they also directed, or he also directed, The Fun House as well, which is it's a cool movie, but I think the biggest problem with that movie is the lighting. It's super dim. This movie, however, was not dim at all. This movie is a science fiction horror movie of epic proportions. It was really cool watching this movie unfold. Uh, when I watched it at first, I thought that the story is kind of boring in places, but it has its moments where the action picks up and the final act was very pleasing. The only thing is I wish there was a little bit more resolution in the ending, and I wish they showed the vampires in their true form more often, because it shows it at the end, and they're these big nasty looking bat creatures. It shows one of the vampires turn into their real form, and it's an awesome scene, but you only get to see it once really quickly. So I really thought they should have used that more often because it was so cool. Uh, and there's another scene in this movie towards the end. It's actually the same scene I'm talking about, where Peter Firth, who totally steals the show in my opinion, has a really a kind of cool one-liner before killing one of the vampire characters. And I read someone say that they thought that was kind of corny. I really liked it. Um, and I did read the plot to you, but I'll explain it in my own way briefly right now. It's basically about a group of astronauts. They find this alien spacecraft and go inside, and inside of this 150-mile long structure, there are these bodies that are kind of frozen in cryosleep, and they take the bodies on board of the spaceship, and they also take one of the creatures, which is a vampire, and it turns out that some stuff happens to the crew, which I don't want to spoil, but what ends up happening is the vampires come to Earth, and they basically make a real mess of things in I think it's London, but anyway, uh, it's a different type of vampire in the movie, which was pretty interesting. I've never seen vampires done this way, so that was kind of cool. They're like psychic vampires, who get inside your mind, and seduce you, and they'll literally suck the life force right out of you, which was a crazy thing in this movie. And there are multiple sequences where that happens. Like, there's a lead vampire who, is making out with a character and just sucks the life right out of them. Like, they become all, they look like Superman when he's around kryptonite. The vampires dry you out, and you look like a decrepit corpse when they're done with you, and you have to take somebody else's life force, uh, which is like the cycle of the vampire, or you turn into dust. The vampires explode into dust when they aren't able to feed, or when you kill them. So that was really interesting. I had never seen that type of vampire before. Like I said, I thought the movie was kind of boring at first, but it really grew on me, and I think it was really well done, especially for 1985. It still holds up. So I have to give Life Force a solid 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10, which I think is a good rating for this movie. A lot of the movies that I love hold an 8.5 rating in my opinion, and this one was just a little bit under that, I would say. So Life Force, go check it out. It's a really cool movie. Watch it on Amazon Prime or wherever it's available to you. The version I watched was 117 minutes long, and it was very good. So I'm going to be buying this one, and stay tuned for a huge Blu-ray pickups video coming soon. If you watch my videos, I'm super excited about that. All right, that's all.